What it do, what it do, what it do. It's your boy Big Vibe Opinion back with another live video. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button. And most importantly, make sure you sub to the channel. Turn on that post notification bell so that you be notified each and every time that your boy Big Vibe is going live, man. With that being said, let's get into this intro. Welcome to Big Vibe Opinion. Moderators, with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. This channel is a negativity-free channel, drama-free channel, and we are here to push the message out. We will not be distracted. So with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. Welcome to Big Vibe Opinion platform.
And I just really want people to know, I appreciate anybody that's helping me. I appreciate anybody that's helping me. A lot of people have been there for me. I just don't want people going back and forth, being mad at each other because one person did this for me and another person did that for me. That's what the devil wants. He wants to cause confusion. That's what these people want. They want to cause confusion. And confusion ain't gonna do nothing but keep me in here. But the real thing here.
Can't believe council culture is really a thing. We throw away our legends, easily make them a meme. Cultural obligation, what does it really mean? We gotta stay on code, don't go against the team. You don't have to stand with me, just don't stand against. But if you gon' pick a side, don't straddle the fence. Mainstream media with propaganda, selective outrage, now we see the slander. False narratives being painted, the truth's tainted. As a result, the majority mind manipulated. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Do your due diligence, think for yourself, stay free. So many different agendas, it's hard to keep count. They use us against us, so many selling out. It's a sad thing to witness, it's all for the clout. The culture's compromised, and that's without a doubt. The culture's supposed to cultivate.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me clearly. Long day at work today. Long day at work today, man. What up, DV? Hey, child, what's going on? What up, Miss Lady T? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we gonna come a little different tonight. I know y'all seen the title, Adult Talk. We gonna come with that adult talk tonight. You know, that real adult talk. And this segment is communication, part 2. The 5 W's when it comes to communication. You know, who, what, when, where, and why. When it comes to communication, knowing the 5 W's when it comes to communication. You know, I'm quite sure we all have our different variations of what we think communication is. So we should be able to have a great conversation tonight. And no one is wrong. You know what I'm saying? No one opinion is wrong because everybody gets something different out of communication. Not two people may communicate the same. You know, some people may agree with the same form of communication. Some people may disagree. That don't mean that their opinion is wrong and the other opinion is right. We all have our own way of communicating. Uh, and I think communication is a big deal nowadays. Is communication now has lessened. Communication has gotten lesser now due to text messaging. You know what I'm saying? Due to due to text messages and DMs, you know, communication has got lesser now. I'm the type of person myself personally. I could text, but if it's something serious, if it's a serious issue or a serious matter, I would rather you call. I'd rather you stop by. You know, I would rather have that conversation face to face. Um, some people prefer the text messages. You know, some people prefer texting. You know, I'm the type of person I don't prefer. Texting is okay, but I prefer communicating. Pull up on me. Pull up on me. Yeah, so we're gonna see how interesting tonight's conversation get. Uh, we're gonna see how interesting tonight's conversation get. Once people get in and start participating in the conversation. I had a long day at work today, per usual, but I'm still here tonight to bring y'all alive as promised. You know, all right, Jeff. All right, Jeff. Still here to bring the content. You know, as promised, 7:30 to 9:30. Um, and we gonna see what we get out of this tonight. You know what I'm saying? And this is something about, you know, when you come on and you doing commentary, you have to be able to touch on a lot of different things and a lot of different subjects. And because some people out there probably have a question about communicating. But let's not forget about this BOP before we start our day.
At the same time, because I know who I was talking to. It's hard to trust people. People take my words, they twist them, and all I'm trying to do is get out the truth.
Yes.
And that's the only reason I continue talking is because even though I'm in the dark and don't know who I'm talking to, my strength comes from because I'm telling the truth. You know. So I was gonna say, man, you mean to tell me a BOP disciplinary hearing officer is going to just wake up one day and say, let me just take a chance on my career, losing my career and going to jail, and just access all of my private phone calls?
It doesn't make sense because personally I wouldn't risk my career like that.
That's my point. You know, let me just take a chance and just access R. Kelly's records, private records between him and his girlfriend and his attorney 153 times. So let me do it 153 times. Let me scan that to my own personal Gmail, and then let me send that to a blogger, Tasha K, who happens to know my girlfriend Joycelyn father really good, who happens to know the parents of the government witness in my case. These are not coincidences, man. This is a plan. You know what plan it is? People have to figure that out for themselves. But it's a plan. Those are too many coincidences. And who's gonna do that? And besides, I'm already going through enough. So I wrote this thing down because I don't want to be scrambling on this phone for my little 15 minutes.
I got you.
And I know my own handwriting, so when people hear me say I wrote this down, I don't want nobody to go, oh, I thought you couldn't write. Well, I can't spell, but I can write. So this is my own handwriting. I said, I'm already going through enough. And the last thing I need is a BOP officer and a blogger illegally stealing and sharing my private phone calls and emails. Between me and my relationship, who just happened to be the government's star witness in my case. They have to stop acting like this didn't happen, or like it's not a big deal, because it's a really big deal. So big that I believe it tainted my case in a lot of ways, which also I believe was the plan, at least when it comes to this BOP officer and Tasha K. Because ask yourself, what other reason would a BOP officer, a disciplinary hearing officer who's like a judge in the prisons, why would they illegally access all of my emails and phone calls? Why? What is the reason to do that? And send that to her own personal Gmail account. Give all of that information to a very influential blogger, Tasha K. Why would Tasha K need to share all of that with government witnesses in my case? Why were they both allowed to get away with it? This happened 4 years ago. This happened around the same time my girl was flipping on me and lying on me. It's been 4 years now, and I, nor my attorneys, even know who this lady is, this BOP officer. Don't know her name. I don't know if she's white, black, I don't know what, we haven't been told anything. How does she know Tasha K? How did they meet on this planet? How did a disciplinary hearing officer and a blogger meet?
Grown right here in the Lone Star State to bring the freshest of Texas.
Yeah, people will say R. Kelly's just fishing. He's just trying to figure something out to get out of jail. You're damn right, because I'm not supposed to be in here. You don't have to fish, though, with this situation, because there's a search warrant, an affidavit that backs up everything I'm saying. People are just ignoring it. But it exists. It's in the public. It's in the system. It's in black and white that this BOP officer and Tasha K did this. And although the investigation is not fully disclosed, it should be. It was executed by a federal agent. Not R. Kelly, not my attorneys, but by a federal agent. It was signed off by a federal judge who would never sign off on a search warrant unless there was enough probable cause to do so. I don't have to lie on anybody.
This call is from a federal prison.
And I definitely wouldn't be in the BOP, being held by the BOP, detained by the BOP, and on this damn phone lying on the BOP. Besides, it's not that I'm coming against the BOP. I'm coming against this BOP officer. besides if I was lying, this phone call would have been disconnected. Okay? It would have been cut off on me. But because I'm telling the truth, it's not. I know I had a very good chance of beating my case. But that chance was stolen from me when this BOP officer decided to illegally steal all my information and share it with government witnesses through Tasha K. And this is according to the OIJ. There was an investigation done, a search warrant done back in 2019, back in 2020, before I even went to court, which means I really shouldn't even went to trial until this investigation was fully investigated. It's because now I'm found guilty, and here I am, looking at all of this information that could have helped me in my case. It could have stopped people from being on the stand that was scorned or mad at me because they found some illegal contraband shown to them by Tasha K. From this BOP officer stealing it. If I'm not making sense, just leave my ass in here. But I know I'm making sense. And all I want is the full disclosure. I want full disclosure on this investigation. I want to know this lady who stole my information and gave it to Tasha K. I want to know why she did it. I want to know how she met Tasha K. I want to know why they did this to me. I want to know who else is involved. Why? Because you're damn right I want to go home, bro. I want to get my life back. Because nobody deserves this. I don't care if you have a traffic ticket. I don't care what kind of case you have. You have the right to prove your innocence.
Absolutely. Teresa, what's going on? Yeah, I did hear they shut R. Kelly emails down again. I'm not sure if they shipping the brother again or what's going on. Or why is it that they continuously shutting down his email? That don't make any sense to me. But you know, he's fighting up. He's up against the DOJ, and that's why it's very important that we continue on writing the DOJ. Continue to write those letters. Continue to send the letters in. Continue to apply pressure. Continue letting the people know that we are watching and we are demanding answers. And we are demanding answers like right now. We know, like Kel said, it's been 4 years, and still, uh, there have been no results of this investigation. Why is that? None of us can answer that. You know, that's up to the DOJ. But I want to make sure we continue to. I want to make sure that we continue to bring awareness about the injustice that has took place within this case. Um, and don't take it for granted. You know, don't take this opportunity for granted. You know, don't ease up because we get small victories. You know, we got to continue to apply pressure in order to make these people respect where we're coming from. You know, we got to continue to apply pressure in order to make these people respect where we're coming from with what we're saying. But tonight's live is a little different. You know, tonight live is gonna be a little different. All right, I'm back. I don't know, man. I tell people every day I do my lives on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:30 to 9:30, and people still call my phone. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. You know, trying to get inside, just getting home from work. So, what up, Unc?
What's up, nephew? I'm still engaging in the rail yard, so that's why I was slow coming in on the panel because I still got trains and stuff moving around. So I can't really engage right now, but I just want to let you know I ain't forgot about you. I've been listening the best way I can. So greetings and blessings to you, nephew, and every family member that's represented in the chat, every person that's represented in the chat. God blessing and peace upon you. Um, let's stay focused and this I'm gonna say this real quick and I'm gonna yield back. I gotta respond to something in the yard in a moment. My heart is real saddened and very saddened. I can hear the anguish, the pain in Mr. Kelly's voice as he was talking, as he was playing that last clip again. So many things I'm hearing in his voice in this whole scenario. And I think this is strategically done on purpose because he was able to reach out the best way he could with the limited time he had to speak out to those who would give him that opportunity, and they shut all of that down from him. I don't think that's about no coincidence. That's just my personal belief as I sit back and assess what's going on. I think we just, we got to keep putting the letter in. We just got to keep mashing, keep doing these talks on the various platforms that's really trying to advocate for him. And we just got to keep applying pressure, hold those accountable the best way we can with our constitutional rights, and really, really intercede in prayer for Mr. Kelly because this is unheard of. I've never seen this in America. I've never witnessed this in all my 56 years, going on 57. I've never witnessed this. So I yield back on that nephew, and I'm going to go on mute.
Wow, I lost my coworker in prayer. I lost my coworker in prayers. He was killed in the Texas shooting. Please keep him. Wow. Yeah, we'll take a moment of silence, man. We'll take a moment of silence for everyone that was lost for all the lives that were lost in the mall shooting yesterday. It's such a sad thing, man, that we can't even go out and enjoy the recreational things of life without having to look over our shoulder or worry about if somebody gonna come in here today and choose to just lose their mind. Man, it's sad. It's sad that what the world is coming to with these type of things, you know. So you take a moment of silence, man. 30-second moment of silence in honor of those people who lost their lives yesterday or a day before yesterday, I think it was, during the mall shooting. Okay, okay. I wonder where everybody at, man. Guess everybody too busy today. So I don't know. It's like I'm gonna be on here tonight by myself. You know, got Unc as always. You know, Unc always support. Gotta appreciate that. But tonight's topic of the live is communication. My question to what's up? My question to the chat right now is my question to the chat right now is what do you all consider to be communication? My question to the chat is what do you all consider to be communication?
Hey nephew, I'm gonna have to step in the yard. We lost power.
All right. Okay, my question to the chat is what do y'all consider communication? So I'm waiting on y'all response to see where we at. Okay. Yeah. Communication. Well, to me, I was having a conversation just a few days ago, and uh, it was talking about my thoughts on communication. What did I feel like communication was? How do I look at communication? Or what is the most important? One of the most what is my most important factor of communication? And in this conversation, um, I say that my most important factor in communication is being able to listen. I feel like when it comes to communication, you have to be able to listen. And a lot of times, when you're having a conversation with someone, most of the time they may drift off into daydreaming, or they might listen but they not listening. They may not be engaged in the conversation. They may not care to hear what it is that you're talking about. uh, so I feel like one of the most important things in communication is being able to listen. And and there's forms of listening, right? And when you listen you can listen to understand what it is that the person is trying to communicate with you. But you have a lot of people that listen to respond, which means they are on the defense about something that you're saying, and they feeling defensive and having to respond in a defensive manner because they feel like you are attacking them because you are communicating a feeling that you feel. What up, cool BJ? So if we're trying to communicate and you trying to respond at the same time, I'm trying to communicate to you what it is that's bothering me, then we can't have a conversation. You can't have a conversation if I'm voicing my opinion and then you turn around and in the midst of me voicing my opinion, you respond because you feel as though I am attacking you in some way. That's not gonna work to me. So that's why when it comes to me, I feel like when it comes to me and communicating with someone, I feel as though being able to listen is like the number one thing. You know, I'm gonna allow you to put your thoughts out. I'm gonna allow you to put your views out. I'm gonna allow you to make your opinion without interrupting you. And then when I respond, I expect the same respect in return. Allow me to explain what it is that I'm trying to say. Allow me to explain what it is that I'm trying to communicate to you without attacking or without stopping me in the midst of my conversation or whatever my point that I'm trying to make. Um, and you will ask yourself, like, that's why I say the 5 W's, right? When it comes to, like, you got to also understand who you communicating to. Why is it important to understand? Why is it important to understand who you are communicating to? Because if you know a person is not listening to you, what's the point of you sitting there continuously talking if they just sitting there letting it go in one ear and out the other ear? Like, you're only going to make yourself mad. You're only going to piss yourself off because you see that this person is not listening to what you're saying. They letting it go in one ear, out the other ear, could care less. So you have to most definitely be mindful of who you are communicating with. You know, and sometimes you may be above someone level, or you may be under someone. You never know. But you have to understand who you are communicating with, in order to communicate. What up, Darlene? What up, Judith? So now that you know that you have to be able to understand who you are communicating with, in order to even form the in order to form the line of communication. Now you ask yourself what you are communicating about. You know what I'm saying? You could be communicating about relationships. You could be communicating about finances. You could be communicating about um bucket list. You could be communicating about work, your work day. You could be communicating about anything. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that we as people, like me, I have different people that I talk about different things too. I understand the people that I communicate with, right? I understand which people I can talk about my job with. I understand which people I can talk about my finances with. I understand which people I can talk about what I want to do, my to-do list with. I understand that the people that are around me, I understand that I can only talk about certain things to certain people. Because some people are more enthused about certain things than others. Some people are more engaging than others. Some people just like the simple things in life. So I also understand that part of uh the communication process as well. Knowing who I'm talking to when I'm talking with them. Knowing what they care to listen to, knowing what they care to talk about. It makes a big difference versus just talking to someone about something. Me talking about my job to someone who ain't never worked in the pipeline field before, or in the never did no heavy equipment work or none of that. What type of conversation I want what type of conversation am I looking to have with them? Either they're gonna be engaged and want to know about it, or they gonna be disengaged and don't care about it. But I understand that who I can talk about what to. When to communicate. When is the time to communicate? When is it the time to communicate? You have some people, you know, they only communicate with you when they see you. You know what I'm saying? They'll see you then. What's up, man? What's up, man? How you been, man? Where you been at, man? What you been up to? Blah blah blah. And then you like, damn, I ain't seen this person since 2 3 months ago, and then they pop, when they see you, all of a sudden they want to hold a whole full-fledged conversation with you, and you sitting there like, well, I really don't know how to talk to you if I ain't talked to you in several months. And then you just, you got people that just run up on you and start talking to you, and you be like, what the hell you talking about? In your head, but you allow them to just talk, but you really asking yourself, what the hell are you talking about? Knowing that you haven't had a conversation with that person in months, going in. Um, so you got the who, you got the what. Who, what, then when. You got the when. When is a good time to communicate? If you pissed off about something. If somebody pissed you off about something, don't let it linger on. Don't let it go on. Don't, situation, don't let too much time pass without getting whatever it is off your chest to that person. You know what I'm saying? Because if you let it sit on your chest, it ain't gonna do nothing but cause build up. You know, if somebody disrespect you, you address it right then and there. If somebody touch you the wrong way, you address it right there. If somebody asks you a stupid question, you address it right there. we say sometimes people just come up to you and start having conversation about what they're going through. It sometimes can be strangers, not necessarily someone you know. Right, right. And I believe for those type of people like that, sometimes people. It's crazy that people have to open up to strangers versus people that they know because they probably done tried to talk to somebody that they know, and those people probably done counted them out, wrote them off, looked there. Oh man, this mother tripping again. Sometimes people, when people know you, they are easy. When somebody know you, it's easy for them to just judge you and count you off as something wrong with you, or you may be the problem, or this, that, and the third, because they don't want to deal with you or they don't want to have a conversation with you. But sometimes those type of people can actually be the victim of a situation. But the simple fact that people like we always talk about with our brother Robert Kelly, when people put that when they attach that stigma to your name, no matter what you do, it's gonna be stuck with you. People gonna always, look at you in that way. So sometimes strangers will come up to you and start having a conversation with you, tell you their whole life story. Because guess what? Everybody in their family then gave up on them because guess what? They look at that person as, oh no, he just come back around here acting like he didn't change, or he acting like he doing better. He act like he ain't doing this no more. He act like he ain't doing that no more. So they just sitting there condemning the person versus hearing out what the person got to say. And that's understandable, you know. But is it right? Does that make it right? No, it doesn't make it right whatsoever. So I always tell myself I try to be an outlet. I try to be an outlet for people to come to and talk, have conversations about certain things. But at the same time, you got to be mindful of the conversations that you allow in your brain. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people are, like we was talking the other night. People are energy drainers, right? Some people can be energy drainers. So you got your who, you got your what, you got your when, and um, Teresa kind of spoke to it a little bit when she said like strangers, like where it doesn't have to be a particular a place for you to communicate something. Like you said, Teresa, a stranger will walk up to you and start having a whole conversation with you, telling you about their life story, what they have been through, how they got in the predicament. I seen the other day, a homeless guy was at a restaurant and the guy was buying him some food. And the guy asked him, like, how do what's going on with you? Like, what landed you here? And the guy go on to tell about his life. He got to talking about his life and his story or whatever situation may be. You know, so with that part of communicating, man, you never know who you're gonna run into, and you never know who will come to you. Like how you could just have a random person that come to you, and they confide in you because they confide in you, and you trying to figure out why did that person come and tell you about what they were going through, show you what they've been going through, show you how they living, show you all the different things, what's going on in their life, and they do it. They chose you to share that with. I consider that to be a blessing. You know what I'm saying? I consider that to be God putting you in the right place at the right time. What up, Unc?
Hey, nephew, I'm back. Yeah, we had a little explosion in the rail yard. We lost 6 tracks or more of 600 power volt electricity each. And so we had to, take care of some things. But I'm back now. Um, if we can we just lay the foundation about when we hear the word communication, this will come to my mind. One, I would say a couple of them, Benny Siegel, um, that song he did, I Can Feel It in the Air. He talked about two of them in a song, and then I'm just explaining the other one. So if you do your research, basically we look at communication in and of itself to lay the foundation. It's really four type of ways, pretty much how we communicate. One is verbal, the other one is non-verbal. Remember that part in the song? Benny Siegel said 85 communication is non-verbal. And then he goes and explains the other 15%. You know what I mean? I don't even know if he knew the magnitude of how powerful that song was when he put it down. But then the first one is verbal, then you got non-verbal, then you got visual, and then you got written. I've sit back in the cut a lot of times, and I would say this, what I rely on heavily, which is my secret, is I rely on observation and deductive reasoning, aka common sense, like Kale said, common sense. So I can sit back in the cut and not even engage because communication is just um, sharing information. You know, you just gathering information and you just imparting it back and forth. You gathering, you know what I mean? That's what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's like a reciprocal thing like that. And you look at that, the definition of itself. And then you got the four ways I said that we all communicate, which a lot of times people are communicating a lot of times who they are, where they're going, what their intentions are. And a lot of times they don't even have to tell you that. All you got to do is sit back in the cut, like that song Benny Siegel said, because one of the part of communication is nonverbal. So people's behavior is communicating to you what their character is, what their character is not. If they in survival mode, if they committed, if they gonna be all in, you know what I mean? And you can tell just by them verbally having a conversation with you, and you sit back and you gather information. And when you process that, you pretty much know if you interact with that person on a long period of time, you pretty much know the period of time where they stand. And a lot of times, if the person's words don't back up their behavior, and if it's not consistent, then right there. But a lot of times we have spoken things in our brain. And so if what we see or feel don't fit the imagery in our head, then we thrown off by that. But like Maya Angelou say, when a person shows you, that's visual. And they don't always have to be verbal all the time. When they show you who they are, believe them. I yield back, nephew. I'm gonna stop right there. I yield back on that.
I agree. Teresa was saying earlier, she said she said sometimes people just come up to you and start having conversations about what they're going through. It sometimes can be strangers, not necessarily someone you know. And I was speaking to her about that and tell her, in situations like that, you can either look at it. It depends on how you look at it. But one of the things is, it can be God putting you in the right place at the right time. If that person have a pure heart, and we have to also be mindful, of the opportunities out here as well. That's looking for, like you always say, looking for a lick. But sometimes some of these people do be sincere. Uh, I remember a while back, I was up in Minneapolis, and me and my uncle, we was in Harold's. We went to Harold's Chicken, and this guy came in the door as we was ordering our food, and the guy like, we had got our food and we was about to leave out the door as the guy was coming in the door, and he was a homeless guy, and he's like, man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. He reiterating that he was hungry. Like he kept saying that he was hungry, right? So my uncle goes in his pocket to get a man, get a man $20 to get him some food. And the man was like, no, 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 I don't want the money. Like he didn't want the money. He wanted my uncle to just buy him something to eat. So
Yeah.
my uncle turns around, goes to the counter with him, and tell the guy like, look, let him order whatever he want to order, and I'm gonna pay for it. And in that moment, like that was one of the times for me, like I never, when it comes to people in that situation, like
You there, nephew? Everything good?
you know, I remember one time, I was younger though, and I was dating this girl, and I pull up to the red light, and the homeless person had the sign or whatever, and I goes in my pocket, I give him some money, and like she was just going irate. Why are you supporting their habit? Why are you giving them money for drugs? This, that? I'm like, look, I don't know, but she was raised in the city, of course, and she was raised in the suburbs, of course. And I looked at and that situation right there made me look at her different, like because God said if you give if I give someone a blessing, I can't tell them how to go spend it.
Right.
My job is to be the blessing and going on by my way. Now, if they choose to go do something, whatever they choose to go do with the money, I can't. I can't do that. I can't say nothing about that. But at the same time, I also understand. I done came across a homeless person that then told me certain things that I still live with today, and just me being manable, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, different gestures that I presented in the conversation. They understood that I came from a background and was raised right, and me helping them was something that I was taught to do. uh, I remember as a kid when I was like 11, 12 years old, my grandmother and my grandfather, they would take me, my brother, my sisters. We would all have to go to the nursing homes in our town. And every holiday, for Christmas, Valentine's, Easter, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, they would take us to the nursing homes around our community, and we would always pass out we would pass out holiday bags or whatever, oranges, fruits, and different stuff in it like that. So, that was just was instilled in me to help people if I can. You know what I'm saying? If I give somebody a blessing, I'm not finna follow them to go see where they finna spend it at.
Right. 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 Yeah. Like we was talking yesterday, and like I just said, using that Benny Siegel song for an example. Um, I rely heavily on observation. And when you saying about your uncle, and the dude said, no, 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 I don't want no money. you know, you said you wanted your uncle to buy the food. See, that was some verbal communication that was going on that you observed, and you utilized deductive reason to peep the game of what really was going on, and there was a life lesson there. See, a lot of times, God is, most of the time, God is always communicating to us. You know what I mean? He teaches us through his providence. He teaches us through nature. He teaches us through our personal experience and experience with others, the experience of the stories that's told in the word. You know what I mean? And then he speaks to our mind, God is spirit. He speaks to our conscious mind, give us good thoughts and help us understand based on the experience that we have, based on our, our six senses and all of that. So, even the weather is communicating with us. You know what I mean? It's just we have to stop still long enough in life, nephew, to just get it. You know what I mean? And properly get it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of information is coming. That way, when you conversing with someone, you're communicating the information that you both share, the knowledge that you both have acquired, the comprehension and understanding of that knowledge that you both have received or should be receiving, and then how to exercise the wisdom with that and be able to apply that. You know what I mean? That's all communicating. It's all communicating. That's going a little bit deeper though. But what you observe is just that simple. Deductive reasoning, observation, common sense. You know what I mean? And you was able to get a lesson out of that. And you sit back and you didn't even say nothing, but it was being communicated to you verbally by them two, and you was the watcher observing and taking that in using deductive reasoning. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all communicating. And somebody else might have been sitting on the side that y'all wasn't even aware of, peeping the whole scenario. That communicated to them a life lesson. You know what I mean? And that's something, and that's information, which communication in the definition, that's all it is. Information that's being imparted, you know what I mean? It's an exchange, from two parties to three, four, whatever. You know what I mean? But to comprehend, and 'cause I know a lot of people, I've witnessed some scenarios where individuals they don't communicate and converse to comprehend and understand. They communicate and conversate to just respond.
Respond. Yeah.
That's not effective communication, especially in a family dynamic, a household, siblings, relationship, husband, wife, man and woman, whatever. It is to really be able to observe what the other is conveying to you, to be able to understand and comprehend what they're conveying to you from their perspective, from the way they process information and the way they deliver it. You know what I mean? So effective communication, development wise, a good suggestion is to ask the other person, I believe I hear you saying thus and so. Am I spot on or am I counted to the left a little bit? And that person will convey back to you, right, that's it. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. And then the proper response to them is like, especially if let's say you had a relationship dispute, you say, well, what would be your suggestions on how moving forward we can make some adjustments in this particular area? Because I struggle with what you presented, and can you help me? Can you share some ideas? You see that what I just did right there? That's effective communication. The other individual more so wants to engage because now they see that you are welcoming, you are inviting, you're not being judgmental. You know what I mean? You're not talking down to them, you're not belittling them, you're not speaking harshly, your tone is pleasant. You're trying to really hear the heart behind what they're saying. And then you ask the other individual, which is effective communication response. I believe I hear you saying thus and so. What may be some suggestions that you may think moving forward would help us navigate through this particular scenario? You see what I'm saying? And chat chime in on what I just said, chat.
In one of the other things, communication keeps down the assumption, right? When you communicate, that means more communication leads to less assuming.
Right,
I can't assume it you finna go right. I can't assume you gonna go right and then you end up going left just because I saw you yesterday at the same spot and you went right. You know, so when you communicate, hey, Vi, I'm finna go left down this aisle. So you gonna have to go right down that aisle. These aisles can only fit one forklift at a time. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But
right,
even like like even in relationships, uh, I woke up where then normally if I get up 10 minutes early uh to make coffee, before I go to work. But today I decided to lay down 10 minutes late because my girl got up 10 minutes early. I assume she went and made coffee. And I
right,
get up and then I come in the kitchen, no coffee made. So now I got a gripe on my shoulder because I chose to lay down ten
right,
minutes later than I normally get up. Not because my girl told me that she was getting up early. I assumed that she was by her getting up at a certain time that she was gonna do what I normally do,
right,
and that right there, that assumption right there could cause a major problem that communication could have deadened before it even became anything. You understand what I'm saying?
right,
So
right, right,
when you communicate, you kill the notion of the assumption.
right, right. Yeah, yeah. Now, nephew, let's take this a little further, and this might be uncomfortable for some individuals, but this adult talk. This ain't children's talk. This adult talk. This real talk. A lot of communication and the method of that we saw on both sides of our family tree. You know what I mean? We have to unlearn a lot of the communication we heard or visualized coming up in our household coming up was not the proper way to communicate. And a lot of us, I've seen this, you know what I mean, too many times over the years. We have taken those things and carried them into our, relationship in our particular era. And that's how we communicate. You know what I mean? And I've heard a lot of people, man, talking about, oh, that's how my mom and daddy communicate. But that's how my mama talked to me. That's how my father kept it with me. You know what I mean? Da, 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 da. And that's fine and good. But was it effective?
Right.
Did it plant a seed of resentment? Because some people, because of those particular scenarios on both sides of the family tree, arguing, fussing. Um, some people dealt with issues to communicate. The way they communicated, they just didn't say nothing. They just didn't touch it. You know what I mean? When there was an issue or scenario, something going on, they never talked about it. They just move around like nothing ever happened. So you get in a relationship, and if you haven't been aware of that, if you don't have a heightened sense of awareness of that particular thing, you are going to your relationship and even raising your kids, and they'll witness you communicate the same exact way. You know what I mean? I already gave an example of a proper, effective way to communicate. And you don't always demand anything. It's always a request. You always ask questions for understanding and clarity, and then you have to watch your tone. You know what I mean? Um, you know what I mean? Because respect begets respect. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And it's something that should be developed and earned over time and built. Because if we don't have mutual respect if we don't have respect, first of all, for ourselves, there's no way we're gonna respect another human. If we got to if we got an inner issue with respect, we'll never be able to understand You know what I mean? I yield back.
yeah, I agree. And back in the day, as I see Louisa say back in the day, back in the day, communication was something that had to happen, right? You remember back in the day when your mama prepared the dinner table? You came to the dinner table. You didn't have no phone in your hand. You know, you weren't able to sit here and look at the internet while you at the table eating. No, no phones at the dinner table, no toys at the dinner table, none of that. When you came to the dinner table, guess what? You got mom on one end, dad on the other end. Guess what? How was school today? You know, what did you do? Like you don't see many of those type of table
Right,
settings anymore.
right, right. Hey, nephew, elaborate on that. Do you think that that hurt the generation moving forward, especially what we see today? That now they don't people today, and I ain't just talking about the millennials people, in 20s, 30s. I'm talking about people 40, 50, that they really, because of the culture now, we don't really communicate like effective like we they did back in the day. You know what I mean? Because people on their
Right.
phone, they on the internet, they don't want to do that. They just want the drama. They want the chaos. They want the foolery.
Mhm.
And I ain't mad at them. Get out how you live. But to me, that's a wasted life. Just my opinion. Just my
Mhm.
personal opinion. I mean, no disrespect to nobody. Um, but I'm thinking now, because I've seen it, nephew. I've been in places. I try to, and
Right.
the person talking in, I just see them witness, and the person trying to talk to them, and the other person, they in their phone.
They ain't phone. You go out to the rest. I challenge anybody to go out to a restaurant. I will make a poll on my community wall. When you go in the restaurant and you see families in there eating, how many of them you see talking to each other? They
Right,
all individually in their phone.
right.
I'm guilty of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Hmm.
not speaking something that I don't do. I've done it. I do it. You
Right,
know, depends on what's going on. I might not come out my phone.
right.
you know, but see that's a part of it. But this is effective interference by the people who sit back and study us, right?
Right,
You know what
right,
I'm saying? This is programming at its best. You
right.
know what I'm saying? We gonna put something. We gonna build a device that's gonna keep your head down at least 23 hours out of your 24 hours in a day.
Stay sleep. Keep you sleep so you'll never stay woke and be conscious of what's going on around you. That what you're saying, nephew?
That's what
Ooh,
I'm saying. That's
ooh,
exactly what I'm saying.
ooh. Mm,
Man, you know what? I was just thinking about this last night. You know how modern technology has become? You can sit here and put your damn fingerprint on the back of a phone and check your heart rate, your blood pressure,
right,
all type of shit with these phones.
right, right. Yeah, yeah. And
And,
what?
and the thing about it is, we do all this shit with these phones, but these phones communicate back to somebody.
Yeah, data. Ooh, that information. See, that information is just communication. It's going back to the, you know what I mean? Ah, yeah. And I like the way you said that scenario you gave in a restaurant and how many people are actually verbally communicating back and conversing back and forth as opposed to those who are sitting at the table and they're just in their phone. Now you see how that ties into the love language. Quality time.
Mm-hmm.
Quality time is giving someone your undivided attention. Put that
Undivided.
put that joke on vibrate.
Man,
I mean,
it's
put that
so
joke on
bad to if you go on a date, you gotta say we leaving our phones in the car. That's
right.
the only way you can have a That's the only way you can have a conversation at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Look, we leaving the phones in the car. They not going in the restaurant
All right, bro.
because if you take the phone in the restaurant, then y'all just on a date looking in the phone.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But then too, nephew, let's go a step further. Because of the scenario we just all the stuff we have shared thus far and our background upbringing, what we exposed to, we didn't never see a proper model of how to effectively communicate and what's the wrong way to communicate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or you might see a scenario someone went through something devastating and it crushed them. They never healed. They never, push past it, and they it's like a bookmark, and so they just don't say nothing. So they'll throw stuff, break stuff, holler, scream, or just walk out because that's what they witness. You know what I mean? And I
Mm-hmm.
see it all the time. I see it all the time, and I'm like, wow. That's why we always talk about and always push a lot about having the ability to self-assess and always be evaluating where you at, because you know what I mean. To
Mm-hmm.
and you really gotta self-assess because you never know when the storm is coming. You never know when the worst case scenario might hit you. You always want to stay ready. You know what I mean. And if you don't allow yourself to be stretched, the next level of your life come and you don't know how to respond. Now, there's some things in life you're unaware of. Life is unpredictable. I got that. I'm just saying, don't just walk around blind and just out of life. You know what I mean? You always want to be reevaluating where you at, where you going, why you here. You know what I mean? Continually growing and healing, and not have nobody easily gaslight you. Don't be easily persuaded. Don't compromise your principles. You know what I mean? Don't let the majority sway you. You know what I mean? Don't be bullied. Like Mr. Kelly's bullied. Muting is bullied, man. That's a form of bullying. And like I said, I don't think it's no coincidence that man started speaking out. He started verbalizing, getting his truth out, sharing that. Now they shut emails off. They shut communication off with him. Now he got to go through the whole process again of visitation. The warden got to approve for that. You know what I mean? We don't know how the dynamic gonna work out. The facilities yet, we don't know how that setup is, and you know what I mean, how he gonna interact in there. I don't think it's by accident. I don't think it's by accident. I think it's really strategic what's being done, and it's just horrible. It's deplorable, man. It's just really sad, man. It's evil, bro. It's really evil, man. You know what I mean? And that's what I see communicate. That's what communicates to me as I sit back and observe and analyze that. You know what I mean? And think that through and look at all of the scenarios and everything that's in play.
Right.
That's what communicates to me.
Right.
That's what I conclude.
Well, it seemed like whoever the genius was, when these people sat back and studied, that was one of the target areas of oh shit. I really can't say of us because this form of communication, when you talk about when it comes to being elite, superior,
Right,
it don't see no color.
right.
They when it comes to that level of power, they
Hmm.
want to control over all. You
Hmm.
know, all of us, the whole world has been bamboozled and rocked to sleep with technology.
Right. Yeah.
And technology, then they came with the internet and they say, you know what? Okay, we're gonna give them the technology, we're gonna give them the internet, and then we're gonna speed it up.
Hmm.
So now we're gonna make it run so fast, and when it's slow, you get mad. You do, the kids throw the phone, break it. You get
Right.
frustrated. It ain't
Right.
working right. You getting pissed off at a phone.
Yeah. 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 And I think JT, he had said something last night, and I had to get off and go check something in the yard. He was saying something about we can't help me out, nephew, if you remember. We can't expect someone else to give us. I think he was the point he was making. Um, in other words, we can't expect the same heart. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they just and I guess a lot of times we get disappointed because what we anticipate what our expectation is so far off of what that person's heart is. You know what I mean? And not everybody has the same heart. You know, and you got some people who don't believe in walking in integrity. You got some people who don't believe in standards and more. You know what I mean? They okay with being grimy. They don't see nothing wrong with it.
Right.
But they're communicating you who they truly are. You can't make nobody do nothing. You can't make nobody be who you want them to be.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Can't fix no other human. You know what I
How
mean?
can you expect somebody to show you what they hear from you?
Right. Nephew, oh, nephew, gonna make me drop this phone down. I'm about to start calling you Bishop Nephew now. I'm about to
If I
start calling you the Bishop.
if I wanted y'all to have this information, y'all would have it. You know what I'm saying?
You teach it now, nephew. You teach it.
You
You
know,
teach it now.
but I have seen people flunk open book tests. You know,
Oh, yeah.
now what that tell you? That's lazy.
Yeah, you man. That's the epitome of labor.
How you flunk an open book test?
You know what? Hey, what did Mr. Clark saying? Lean on me when he was talking to the teachers.
What you saying?
Uh, I'm glad to get it. Give me a moment. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah,
I don't know why my man went to lean on me, Joe Clark, man.
yeah. The world had got so fucked up with technology. These motherfuckers flunking open book tests because they don't want to go read.
It's the apathy, nephew. They don't really care. They just not even there. I see a lot of people go to man job. They're not even. It's obviously relationship on jobs, man, communication, family members, all that. You just not. Why even waste if you ain't even all in. I'm not even tripping that you ain't all in. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But communicate that with me and let me know. But they did do it, but not showing up when they said they were going to show up. And we try to make it to be something. Leave it alone and honor that and respect. I can respect that when you keep it 1,000 like that. When you
Mm-hmm.
when you're gonna be a person that don't respect my time,
Mm-hmm.
get mad at you and get bent out of shape, call you all this kind of name, every name but a child of God. No, no, no. You let me know what it is. Love you, care for you, wish nothing but honor and blessings and goodness for you. We just can't move in the same circle like that.
Shit, man, you got people who allow on the application,
Yeah,
get
yeah,
the job, and get pissed off because they got fired
right.
and
Yeah.
got there couldn't perform the duty.
Hey, hey.
Versus just being honest, versus just being for real and just have you ever ran a machine before instead of saying no? Yeah, I used to run them X, Y, and Z. You put their ass on the machine, you gotta go get them out the rapper. They done wrap their damn self up in rapping paper.
Hey, hey, E.T. the hip hop preacher he told a story that guy I guess was being mentored or something was saying, man, the devil, man, my job. He said, man, what happened? What's going on the job? I'm paraphrasing, what happened on the job? He said, man, they after me, man. He said, man, they fired me, man. He said, man, what happened? He said, the devil fired you? He said, man, you super spiritual. He said, the devil fired you from your job. He said, nah, they fired me. He said, what happened? You late or something? You want to? He said, nah, always, on time, punctual. What, your work performance was low or something like nah, you know what? He said, well, man, but tell me the full story. I mean, what really happened? He said, man, my probation officer came, okay, so they found out about that. It's okay, so what's wrong with that? Well, they didn't know I was a fella. He say, the devil didn't fire you, you fired you.
Yeah.
You didn't communicate the truth.
Didn't tell the truth from the beginning.
We don't communicate the truth because we worried about what someone is going to think and what they say. You're trying to hide. No. Standing in your truth to mean even
Yeah,
if it's
true.
popular or not, if it hurts somebody's feelings or not, you got to communicate the right thing, man. So you always be on point. You know
Got
what I mean?
You got to communicate effectively. You know, Ineffective communication is just a waste of time. You know, people underestimate the power of communication, man. Communication is it's the key to life. You know what I'm saying? You can't get nowhere without being able to communicate. You know, if you're going somewhere of somebody in the way, you got to be able to say, "Excuse me." You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, if somebody's crying, you need to be able to say, "What's going on? What's wrong?" You know, you need help. You know, let me know. You got to be able to communicate 911. I got an emergency. You know, look, what's going on? Oh, someone unresponsive. You got to be able to. Communication is so vital, especially in key situations where you got to be able to be paused and communicate at the same time. Even under duress, you still have to be able to communicate. You know, so I just wanted to come tonight to bring this communication topic, and Unc had touched on it a minute ago, and tell people why I feel as though when it comes to communication, one of the biggest things, two things about communication: listening and understanding what you're listening to.
Mm-hmm. And
Listening and understanding versus listening to respond. You got a lot of people who listen to respond because they feel like what you're speaking is attacking their true feelings. And when they
correct.
act out based off some of your speaking, that lets you know that their intentions ain't what they said they were. When you make a general statement and someone feel affected by in general statement, then you should look at that person very close
And I'm telling
because
you what that is, nephew. That's past trauma that has not been dealt with, that they experienced personally or indirectly growing up and saw.
hmm
You know what I mean? And I'm talking in our household, with our parents, all that. We was little. We, some of us, especially in our community, we don't believe in life coaches. We don't believe in therapy. We don't believe in counseling. Yet we got all this stuff going on in our community, all this stuff that we doing to each other and all of that. It's from past trauma. It's from past trauma. And then we birthing children in this world, which is horribly unfair and cruel.
hmm
And then you didn't show them proper blueprint and good pedigree. So now look at the end result that you see. I ain't saying that none of this generation is, everyone is responsible when they have age, is responsible for their actions and the consequences of that. I'm saying the influence, you know what I mean, not having seen a proper father, mother struck, she seeing her go through something and get, beat on, having to carry the family by herself, and, you know what I mean, or a tragic death, you know what I mean. It says that, and this is proven by psychologists across the nation, that a kid processes death easier than divorce or separation from with the parents.
mm, mm, mm.
And I'm gonna let that breathe. This is adult communication. This channel, Big Vibe Opinion, is for healing, it's for personal development, it's for encouragement, it's for prayer, it's for support, spiritual, to be the best version, for all type of help, to be aware of what's going on in our country and our community, and how we can learn and grow and bring all our ideas to the table, and to navigate with all those ideas to come to a common solution. That's what Big Vibe Opinion. And this is Uncle Muse. This is my nephew, Big
Most
Vibe.
definitely, most definitely, man. That's why I tell people anything in life, when you at a moment in life and you having a moment, you ask yourself those 5 W's, man. Who, what, when, where, and why.
Yep.
Any scenario you come into contact with that pauses you, that halted you, it seemed like everything just stopped. You ask yourself those 5 whys, those 5 W's.
Yeah.
Who, what, when, where, and why? Why?
Yeah.
Who could like Robert Kelly, Mr. Kelly, if he
Right.
sit back and ask himself those 5 whys
Right.
right now, the man probably run out of paper writing down different thoughts that's gonna come to his head.
Yeah.
Ain't enough paper. They can't give him enough paper to write. Because when you realize who you dealing with, what you dealing with, when you dealing with them, why you dealing with them, and where you dealing with them, then you understand who you dealing with, what it is that you're dealing for. What's your reason? What's your everything that we do on this channel ties back to real life scenarios. Everything we talk about, you can take these you take these nuggets and process them and use them in your day-to-day life. I try not to keep information hostage that can help me out in life. Because I know if it helped me, I'm no different than anyone that come on this platform, anyone that come in this chat. I give anybody the gems that I have been given.
Right.
And shout out to my grandfather, my grandmother,
Yeah.
the OGs in the hood that looked out for a little OG like me. Even when I was tempted to be in the streets and wanted to be in the streets, that told me, you got a bright future, man.
Right.
These streets ain't for you.
That's right. Yeah, I was
You know what I'm saying?
told the same thing.
And I was learning how to communicate at a young age.
Yeah.
Even when I wanted to be wild, when I wanted to be free, when I wanted to try stuff, when all my homies was doing everything they wanted to do, but I was that kid that it was always an OG that took me and said, man, you got a bright shoulder, you got a bright head on your shoulder.
Right.
I can't talk to a lot of these little dudes out here, man, but I can talk to you. Somebody been talking to you.
Yep. Yep.
Never forget being I was probably about 13, 14, and my uncle was on the porch having a conversation, and I'm sitting there like a sponge. I'm soaking it up. And when I was hit by 16 and we were back having a conversation again, now I'm a part of the conversation. And they telling me, like, you got it. You got it. You understand. My uncle told me, you understand. And their understanding was you understand the process of thinking for yourself, communicating, being your own person, not being a follower, different things, and that's important. It's a lot of people out here there's followers basically because they haven't paid attention. They've never paid attention. They never took heed because guess what? When it came down to them communicating with somebody, they had their phone in their hand, paying attention to YouTube or playing a game or whatever. See, the more and more time goes, the less and less life is going to even be valued by the generations to come.
Right.
You got, it's so amazing, right? I'll even be watching sometimes like older people. What's up, Lavish Lady, Foxy Chocolate? To see the older people living to be 90, 80, 100.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Now you got, man, the younger generations and they 18 from 16 to 25, man, they dying off so much it don't even make no sense.
Yeah.
It's so bad to where every time somebody turns 70, they gotta celebrate it now.
Yeah. Man, let me say this, nephew. I want to help somebody. We here to help somebody. Don't care what your age is. And the first thing moving forward, we have to be humble. You got to humble yourself because if you don't, life will.
Life will, most definitely.
Life will bring you to your knees. Real talk. And I know what that's like. You know what I mean? So get the lesson that God's trying to take us because you'll keep repeating them and you keep having to pay the bill. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, nephew, now we lay the ground about communication, the four parts of communication, written communication, verbal,
Verbal.
non-verbal, what I mean, and visual. What I mean? Those are the way we communicate. A lot of time, the reason why a lot of individuals, a lot of us don't engage, because you have to be transparent. You know what I mean? You have to be transparent. Let
Mm-hmm.
me explain to you what I mean. That's why I'm always advocating for a human being to become a whole person. Self-examine yourself and take accountability whether or not you still got some broken pieces, some shattered pieces in your life. Don't look at it as brokenness and shattered pieces, because as many pieces as life has broken you, that's how many people you can feed the goodness of your experience. You know what I mean? That's the purpose of the five fish and the five loaves. And then the other one, he did with the seven loaves and a couple of fish. You know what I mean? For the
Mm-hmm.
4,000, he feed 5,000, he feed 4,000. The principal key of that parable is how many pieces that life has broken you. That's how many pieces you can distribute to people that you come across with. So
Mm-hmm.
that whenever you step your foot is blessed, you can pour into somebody. I'm gonna tell you why that's important. Because you cannot give another person what you don't have when God has placed them in your vicinity, or your life, in your scenario that you come across with, all of that. You never know what people walk across your life. And you must have just something that they need because of how you went through it, how you articulated it, how you processed it, how you went and pushed through that scenario, through the sweat, through the blood, through the tears, through the hurt, through the pain, through the naysaying, through the talked about, the lying on, the backstabbing, even from your own family members, those closest to you. Someone need to know your story to
Mm-hmm.
to get them through. You know what I mean? So
I
when you look at that, go ahead, nephew, go ahead. I
I
see you
agree.
putting down.
I agree. I agree most definitely. And speaking on what you said, it's so ironic, right? My son, mama, who makes the T-shirts for me, she started her business and everything, and her business is beautifully broken with purpose, and that's the name of her business. And and she named it that because
Again, nephew, I'm sorry. Say that again. That was powerful.
beautifully broken with purpose is the name of her business.
Woo! You
And
what I was putting down.
and the thing is, she said she's finding beauty in being broken. You know, finding the beauty in being broken. And she goes around and speak and everything. She's been through. She talks about her life and things that she's been through, and
Right.
she go around and speak. At different venues and different things like that. And man, it was amazing that to see her vision come to light. And everything that she talks about and thought about to put it into perspective. It was amazing. And like I tell her, man, I enjoyed seeing it, and that's what we all have to do. We all have to find the beauty in in find the beauty in brokenness, because we all go through stuff. God never said that we wouldn't go through difficult times, challenges, you know. But the thing about it is learning from those encounters that we go through,
Right.
even the ones that make us feel like we at our lowest and we want to give up, we want to quit. Understanding that battle, understanding that moment is way great. It's a way greater outcome on the other side if you just push through this struggle that you're going through right now. You know, it don't last long. It don't last long. You know, and we have to build that relationship with God and ask God to confide in us that understanding to understand that trouble don't last long and it don't last always. You know, we all gonna go through things in life and we all gonna have our moments where we feel like God ain't show up or, you know, he wasn't present or we needed him and he let us down and that's all mental. All mental. But the thing about it is it all reverts back to that communication. When you communicate with God, you will never when you communicate with God, you will never question God's will that will be done when it comes to life. You
And that's
won't
why it's
question
so
it.
important now. That's
It's
important.
important.
Very,
And
yeah.
you don't have to communicate with God the way Unc communicate with God. You don't have to communicate with God the way I communicate with God. You know, you don't have to communicate. We all have our different way of talking. We all have our different way of speaking. And God never said that, hey, you got to come at him perfectly. You know what I'm saying? But just know the fact God appreciate the fact that you are willing to come to him, period.
Mm-hmm.
And say, you know what, God, this situation is a little bit too much for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna leave them with this, man. We gonna end on we not end on it because we got a little more time. But this pretty much my last point to wrap up everything I said. And like we were saying with the point of analogy with the fish and all of that. Um, we want to move from brokenness to healing. You know what I mean? It's important. That process is longer for some people. That process may be shorter for some people.
mm-hmm,
Um, it might be more trying and more rigorous. It might be rough. It might be harder. But the thing is, you can become the best version that you will put on this earth because God put everything that you will ever need inside your DNA.
mm-hmm,
Go through this process of life on your own particular journey and discover and grow and learn how to tap in and bring that out and build that up and become strong in that. You know what I mean?
right,
So, you know, you want to be able to move from the unforgiveness, the resentment, the anger, you know what I mean, and go to the root cause of that. How did that get planted inside of you? What did you witness? You know what I mean? That put that spirit on you. You know what I mean? That got to be renounced. You know what I mean? And you got to be set free from that. So then you can move through that process of healing and not just stay in a broken state. Because some people think, well, I'm just keeping it real. Yeah, but you're not healed yet. You still broken. You're not healed. You still got unforgiveness. You still got resentment. You still angry. That's dangerous. But yet we hold on to that stuff and think we can get with another human nephew and that's going to compensate for that without putting in no work, without trying to make no adjustment, without having no accountability, no responsibility, not taking no ownership for our decisions in life and facing up to those results, you know what I mean, those consequences and make the necessary adjustment. So here's what my mentor, my pastor mentor told me, one of my spiritual mentors told me. Very simple on everything I said. You say, well, then, Uncle News. Okay, then how do we, what do we do? I mean, where can we find? Build on what you have. That's it. Everything I've ever said since the first time I came on here, I don't care what it is, from A to Z, build on what you have. That's one of the key to success, personally, for you first. I ain't talking about materialistic degrees and I ain't talking about all that stuff. All the stuff have its place. I ain't talking about having kids. I ain't talking about none of that. You as a human, the greatest success you can ever have for yourself as an individual is when you have become whole and you have got over your hurt, your pain, your resentment, your unforgiveness, and your anger. Then you can't be hoodwinked. You can't be manipulated. You don't have to worry about trauma bonding with somebody, getting in a relationship that's horrible and destructive. You won't get vultures around you. Your heightened sense of awareness to be on point. You're like, no, mm-mm, don't hire her. No, I can't hire her. No, she don't have integrity. Nope. You know what I mean? I wish Brother Kelly had that around him and had that is right there. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to safeguard your heart, nephew. With some individual in life, how you move in this world, what we deal with, you got to guard your heart because everybody don't have the same heart, don't have the same intention, and people come and woof, and woof, like a wolf, but they be in sheep clothing. You got to be able to distinguish between the two. So just build on what you have. Personal development, build on what you got. Want to be entrepreneur? Build on what you have. Network, get the various resources, know what it takes, draw your plan, see the vision, work the plan, go through the process, get some mentorship, humble yourself, get up under somebody who's achieved that, went through the process. They really got it out the mud. That's why, and I yield back, that's why I can always respect Master P. His process. I'm talking about his process. I can honor that. I yield back, nephew. This was a fantastic live.
That's pretty much, man, gonna wrap it up for the night, oh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got you, nephew. Even though I'm at work and what I do is very serious and dangerous, you know what I mean? But I'll never be on the phone in that particular area when I have to work and move around at 600 volts. So I'm always gonna be safe and do all of that. When I'm able to be in the break area for that moment, then I'm gonna let it ride. I'm gonna get it in as much as I can until I have to put it on mute. you
Right,
know.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it most definitely.
Yeah.
I threw it even though I had a long day.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
Kept my commitment.
Yeah.
So,
And see, that's the definition of true success. You know what I mean? Steve Harvey said one time that if you truly gonna be successful, then you're gonna give up some sleep. You know what I mean? You're gonna give up. You know what I mean? It's an uncomfortable position to be in. People want to be comfortable, nephew, and lay back and do it when they feel like it, and really get to the bag. Like, nope, I don't know what kind of bag you get. You must want to get one of them plastic bags you get out of jewels or something.
They
You
in
ain't
the
finna
stack.
get real, right? You're not finna get no real bag. You know what I mean? Because man, being successful is uncomfortable, nephew.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about yourself first before we go outside. The self first. You know how uncomfortable that is. The stuff that we be talking about, especially stuff I be pushing about personal development, accountability, and self-aware, heightened sense of awareness. That's an uncomfortable space. That's why you hear these clowns trying to come over here, disguising their name in the chat with all that foolery, man. Go see a doctor for that. They got medication. Some people just ain't no devil nephew. Some people just need medication.
Yeah, they don't even need medication. They just need to not even exist, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm being facetious, but I'm serious a heart attack at the same time.
You know what I'm saying? Some of these people just. But you know what? You need the damn fools in order for the fools to stay alive.
Man,
You know.
hey, it keep you on point. It keep you appreciating,
Yeah,
man.
you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
You know.
I ain't bad as I thought I was.
Right.
Okay, at least I overcome that area. Okay. You
You
got to
know,
look at the stuff like that, man. It's
you
all
got
part
people
of
who
doing.
be like, oh, it's even like the people ask me. The lady asked me today, what do you consider yourself? Do you drink alcohol? I say, sometimes. How often? I say, well, not often. Not often enough to consider myself a drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, uh, it's different levels in life when it comes. It's different levels to everything. It's different levels to a fool. It's different levels to crazy. Different levels to smart. It's different levels to love. It's
Woo.
different levels to hate. It's different levels to uh.
You nephew, when you said crazy, woo, you just struck man. Memories flash through my head.
It's different levels.
Nephew, this in the hey. Nothing but love and respect for the person. I always wish them well, wherever they is in life, man. This was some years ago. Crazy with a capital K turned backwards
Right.
and let you know they crazy. When a person let you know they crazy, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a different level of crazy. Uh,
But I'm
you
fucking
know, you
crazy.
had somebody crazy when you ask God, "How did you get into this shit? How did I end up here?"
Hey, observation and deductive reasoning. I wasn't
Mhm.
doing it. I just took it upon myself and just jumped on in there. Say, I'm Gucci. I'm good. I can make it. Okay. And you ain't know what you were dealing with.
See, the thing is, God give you the sign before you even get there.
We ignore them,
You know
nephew.
what I'm saying? You riding. She done told you can come over. What's your address? 666 Hale Avenue. You stuff you thinking about finna go get you some cutty. You ain't even paying attention to the address. You think you finna go get some. You ain't even paying attention to the address she just gave you.
You got my stomach.
666
You got my
Hale Avenue. Oh yeah, you done stopped by the store, you done got you a condom, got you some gum. You still ain't paying attention to the goddamn address this crazy motherfucker just gave you.
Oh man.
But guess what? That ride there, you
I'm
cool as hell on the way there. You ain't paying attention to that address.
oh man.
You get there, you pull up, you get out, you ready. You get in there and realize you just walked the hell kitchen. I bet when you leave, you paying attention to all the shit you didn't see on the way there, you gonna see on your way leaving.
Like, I didn't even see that, man. I know what number did she give me again? Real talk. Hey, we all have been there, done that. Real talk. And you grown from that. I'm grown from that. Hey, you feel from that.
What
It's
up,
all
brother
good.
Dave? What up, brother Dave?
It's
Yeah.
all
Nigga, you be setting up that old appointment to go see old girl. She done gave you the address. You so caught up in she finna give you some. You done walked into a damn trap.
mm, yeah, man. It's all good
But
though, man.
like I say, God give you signs, but you have to be in tune. Now, a person that's in tune with God gonna say 666. Oh, hold on. I
Right,
ain't even going to that house.
right,
I ain't even putting up on no address that say 666.
right.
I don't give a damn who you is. You gonna have to meet me down the street.
That was fun. But we ain't got to get off into it. It's for another live. But really, nephew, when it boils down to you do the research and all of that, that's nothing scary about that particular number. All that's a number for man. God
Yeah.
created man the sixth day of the week, and He rested. Not that He was tired and exhausted. He rested on the seventh day because He had completed everything that He had done. So man,
Uh,
he created man on the sixth day. So that's where the six come from. But really, that's talking about in Revelation. That's all it's talking about is worship. Whether we're going to worship the enemy and his plan and what he offers, or whether we're going to choose God and what he says.
right.
So that's actually what that comes down to. You know what I mean? Honoring God's law and his principles as opposed to the devil's, way of doing stuff. So that's what they really come down to.
Mm.
So it ain't nothing to be frightened or scared about. It's all about work. It's all about
Right
worship.
now, we just making a joke. We
Yeah,
making.
yeah. But I'm going to use that though. I'm going to use that. Because I know some individual I can use that with, and they're gonna get a kick out of that, and they gonna borrow it themselves. They're gonna get a kick out of it. You know,
David, brother David say 666 out Hill Avenue.
that was a good one. You had my stomach hurting on that one. That was a good one.
Yeah,
You had my stomach hurting.
I'm.
You had tears in my eyes, man.
A child say I help the homeless as well. I challenge everybody, y'all. I challenge everybody this week, man, to feed a homeless person, man. That's the challenge for the week. So we come on Friday. I'm gonna ask
Sweet
people
sunshine, that is correct. Sweet
questions.
sunshine, that is correct.
I'm gonna ask people on Friday, man. That's the challenge. is to feed a homeless person. This week, man. Let's give back and uh do God a favor, man, in the honor of our brother Robert. We know if Kels was free, man, he'll be doing way more for people than he do for himself, man. So we just gonna do a give back, help somebody out, man.
Yeah, and go independent, man. Go independent and get to what he really wanted to do, man. That inspirational music, man. For community and causes, man. Where his really passion was, from his upbringing, his pedigree, man. Stuff, that's what his heart was. Inspire, man. To motivate and encourage, And it's just, I'm thinking about this today, nephew, and I end my words on this. We got to understand that this planet, this earth, this world that we have to maneuver in and go day to day is anti-God, man. It's anti-Christ, man. So this world system, man, we can't put our confidence in this world system. We maneuver, we do what we have to do, but at the end of the day, man, the ones who really run this, man, they got wicked hearts, man.
Oh
And
yeah.
the ones who are trying their best to follow, integrity and justice and goodness, man, they come up in opposition. And so we got to pray for those individuals that's in leadership in our government, what the word said we should do. You know what I mean? For God to give them the wisdom and help them stay courage. You know what I mean? Because there's some wicked people running this planet, man. There's some wicked people in government, man. It's just what it is, man. You can see it. You can see it. And individuals, man, who have given over, they power, choice, and free will to the enemy, man, and go out here shooting and doing all kind of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? And we act like we don't see it because they just showed us so much violence, and we eat it so much that it is numb our spirit, and we have become desensitized. That was the whole agenda. So you won't stand up and crowd and speak against it. But now it's time to wake up. I'm telling you, we brought us together, man, and I don't think this is, coincidence. You know what I mean? It's time for us, start speaking up, man. Where there's strength, there's unity. Where there's unity, there's strength. You know what I mean? We all need each other, man. We can make a difference like that. We done seen it in history
Hold
past.
on, I finna need a child. A child, I need help. I need help get me a house. I need help. Where you located at? I'm finna relocate. I'm tired of being tired.
Yeah.
I had
All
spoke
right, nephew.
Fox. I had spoke on Jamie Foxx a couple of days ago. They trying to say, man, I don't even want. I'm not gonna come out and insinuate nothing.
Right. Yeah.
That if Jamie Foxx if Me Too would have been after Jamie Foxx, it'd have been all over the news.
Right. Right.
The man's in the hospital, battling and fighting for his life. You don't even hear nothing about it.
Yeah. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Cool world we live in, nephew. Cool world.
Yeah.
That's the ones that's in your circle. You got to love them and appreciate them, man, and pray for them and hold tight with each other, man, because we all we got, nephew. CMB, CMB, we all we got. Real talk.
I'm finna get up out here, man, and
Sir?
take me a shower and hit it in the morning. I got an interview on Wednesday morning and a new job. I'm finna be changing it up.
Okay.
And
Well,
shout out
you
to everybody.
hoping to get back on the nights? You hoping to get back on the night shift?
Oh no, It's
Okay.
more like it's more like this company right here that I'm be going to. They hang up like all the street the like the highway signs, the exit signs.
Right. Oh wow. Okay. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
so
Yeah. That's what's up, nephew.
they do
Congratulations, man.
all the lights, the cameras, and the
Yeah.
red lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what's up,
yeah.
nephew. That's what's up.
Moving on up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know,
Yeah.
pray. So y'all be praying for me, and we're gonna pray that God, God, if this is
Yeah.
not for me, that God allow me to, and venture off into this thing. You know,
Yeah.
that's
That's
that.
what's up, man. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Well, all
Yeah.
right.
Yes, sir. Bless you,
Shout
nephew.
out
Bless
to the best
everybody.
chat on the YouTube streets. I tell y'all the best chat on the YouTube street.
Y'all doing y'all thing.
Everybody in here, y'all are part of the 1%ers that understand understand the goal to rise above. You know what I'm saying? I keep telling y'all, I'm gonna show y'all one day. I'm gonna show all y'all one day. I'm gonna title this live something so crazy, and watch and see how many people be over here. And when as soon the chat get to 100 plus, I'm gonna just end the live. I ain't gonna even say nothing. I'm just show y'all. I just want the people to see.
Yeah.
What I be talking about when we be talking about, we speak to the minds of people who don't have pure intentions of righteousness.
Right. Yeah. Right. And this is scientifically proven to be true. But nephew gonna do the test anyway. Yeah. All right, nephew. I'm out of here. Bless you. All right.